Now back to Outdoors with Larry Rea on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Rea. And wow, we've jumped in it right off with Jimmy Houston. And then our new part of the Outdoors with Larry Rea team is our good friend John Gordon from Avery and Bandit Holdings, and of course that's the fourth Saturday of the month, and so John will now be here filling in for the departed. I don't mean he's passed away, but our good friend Bill Cooksey is down in Austin, Texas with Vanishing Paradise. I've talked to Bill a couple of times as he tries to help me put out the October edition of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News magazine. It's you should get it really soon. It's done. I made it. My maiden voyage as an editor of a magazine, and you got a great article by not only John in there, but also Ron Wong is in there, and great stories. Ron's talking about winter bass fishing, and John is talking about early season waterfowl, and has done a wonderful.
Get you a subscription because it's so full of information. Of the Memphis Mid-South area that you can use. And I have to tell you, it kind of keeps you up to date with what's going on and what could be happening. Yeah, and John, the cover was a beautiful cover shot that I've recommended, and I hope that's what it is. I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News coming out. The October edition is my first one, and my wife says my column's the best thing I've ever written. It's a little bit about me and my personal where I am now. 50 years in the outdoors. So that was a very long article then. Yes, it's a long article. Yeah, they had to do a second edition. Hey, I've got right in front of me, in case any of these guys get out of hand, is the Wildgame Innovations Dominant Buck Bomb, powered by the Buck Bomb, and people will not use, all of my family refuses to drive my truck. My truck smells like the Dominant Buck Bomb in there. There's something in my truck that I don't even smell it. And everybody says, what is that in your truck? Well, I got some doe urine in there. I got different things like that. And I want to talk a little bit about scents, SCENTS. And who better to talk about that is our good friend here, Josh Lance. He is talking a little bit about scents. And good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey,
happy to be here as always.
Always glad to have Josh on this. So let's talk a little bit about Wildlife Innovations, because I think it's based out of Baton Rouge, right?
It sure is. Yeah, it sure is. It's a company that the Busbis family started a few years ago, and is now part of the Plano Synergy brands, which not a lot of people know. So
yes.
But yeah, talking about scents in general, urine is one of those scents that are kind of misunderstood.
Yeah, I love to talk about urine.
A lot of hunters use them wrong, and boy, if you use them wrong and your truck ends up smelling like deer pee, then you're really in trouble.
No. They know when I come, and they come to my truck.
There you go.
Yeah. I got to be careful where I park it, because of some kind of critter show. But this stuff here, now I have not tried it. I'm just looking at it. And we could talk about product presentation too on Outdoors with Larry Rea, because this is a cool looking container. In the old days you would just get something and you'd be afraid to open up the box and things. But you guys go into product not only to catch the buck, but I know you're going in to catch the buyer too, right?
Yeah, they do a good job with that. So the Dominant Buck Bomb that you've got there in front of you, that's their aerosol product.
Yes, it is.
That same Dominant Buck urine in a dripper, and also a squirt package too. And you can use those in a ton of different ways. But that bomb is really a key. If you want to set up, you can do bursts.
Yes.
From your tree stand or from your ground blind, or you can set it on the ground and use the valve to deploy the entire bottle. And send out a big fog. But Dominant Buck urine is probably the most, universally effective of the three different kinds of urines. I mean, you've got basic basic doe urine, which is a general safe scent. You know, it sends out to the deer herd that are nearby that, you know, hey, everything's cool. You know, it's a normal smell that they're used to smelling. Now, people use the estrus doe scent, in my opinion, too often. I mean, that should strictly be confined to the rut. You know, when you're actually hunting the rut and you've got hot does running around, if you use that outside of that period, that estrus doe urine is going to spook a lot of deer.
It's going to spook the deer.
Dominant buck urine, dominant buck urine can be used in the early season. I mean, we've got early archery season firing up all across the country right now.
Today is the opening day in Tennessee for the archery season, and so a lot of folks are using this, and I've been promoting it and talking about it, and this is the time you can use, because I love the press release. Folks, and again, we're talking to Josh Lance here. These guys put out great press releases, but I like this. Listen to this. Is this not cool? The idea of another mature buck, I wish they had music to this. The idea of another mature buck challenging claim to his domain has become intolerable, so he patrols his rubs and scrapes looking for clues like a psychopathic ex-boyfriend on steroids.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it, Larry? I got you on that, didn't I?
Did you write this? Did you write that?
I did, yeah.
It's great. I loved it. You know, an ex-psychopathic boyfriend on the steroids.
Yeah, you know, even before the pre-rut, you know, once they start scraping here in another, you know, depending where you're at,
down
another
south,
month or so.
Uh-huh.
I mean, even right now in the early season, if a mature dominant buck gets a scent of another mature dominant buck, even though, you know, they're not rutting yet, chances are he's going to investigate that in his core area, because, again, you know how important the pecking order is in those deer herds. So you can use it in the early season, and it really becomes effective, you know, throughout the pre-rut and the rut, where you're actually challenging them.
Well, tell me how the best way, and I've got this, and I'm in the stand or whatever I might do, what's the best way to use this dominant buck?
Yeah. You know, again, during for the aerosol product that you're looking at, during the pre-rut or the rut season, what I would recommend you do is, you know, first of all, don't put it directly downwind of your tree stand. So you set the bottle on the ground off to one side. So, you know, if you've got a deer trail, you know, that's coming up off one side where you can throw that scent downwind, but not have it be in your scent cone, you know, from your tree stand, that's what you want to do. And you know, keep in mind those bucks too. They don't use the same deer trails that the other deer do. They usually go downwind, you know, 5 or 10 yards, and they'll travel parallel to those. So think about your individual hunting situation that you've got in your main stand, and set that thing off to one side downwind, and you set that nozzle to employ the entire contents.
Okay.
And what that does is it shoots that aerosol fog up in the air and sends that all drifting downwind. So if you got a mature buck that you may be upwind of a bedding area, you want to hustle your butt back up to your stand and get ready.
Well, so, I know that the wind plays importance. You know, don't shoot this stuff in the air and it blows back in your face. I mean, that's you got to be a little.
You end up smelling like your truck.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, that's something else in there. I hadn't found it yet, but I'll find it one of these years. You know, but again, talking to Josh Lance, and what I like about it, these guys really, something like this is not invented overnight. They take field testing, and I don't think a lot of you folks know out there how much involves in coming up with this product, does it?
No, that's true. And, you know, people say, well, there might not be anything to deer urine. You know, there is. You got to get it from the same animals. You know, if you advertise it as dominant buck urine, it's got to be dominant. It's got to be there, yeah. If you advertise it as estrus doe urine, it's got to be estrus doe urine. But one of the unique things about the dominant buck line of urine that Wildgame Innovations makes is it's got that glow coat additive in.
Now tell our listeners what that is now. So
it was actually invented by if any of your readers, you know, read Outdoor Life, one of their bow hunting editors, Dr. Todd Kuhn. He worked 20 years at NASA. Todd developed that additive, and all it is a UV dye that reacts with whatever you put it on, and
Amazing.
it gives off a greenish glow. So deer see really well into the blue and green spectrum. They can see at night. They can't see yellow, orange, and red, which we all know, but they can actually see a glow that's produced by this glow coat that obviously humans can't. So there's no, Wildgame Innovations puts it in a variety of products, but there's no additives to this stuff. So it's strictly a UV dye. And what happens is if you've got a few acres that you hunt, and say in the summertime you're putting your game cameras out, you want to attract more deer to those game camera sets. What you can do, and Todd's research has proven this, is you can condition deer like the scientist Pavlov did. To get a response where they come investigate this glow because they're naturally curious, and then in the off season, if you've got it sitting on a mineral site or some supplemental feed that you've got out, they start to associate that glow with the reward. So if you're hunting a property, basically with your own deer herd, you can condition those deer to investigate that glow coat. So you're not only using the power of scent now with the dominant buck urine products, you're also using that UV enhancement that they can see, which is a really neat thing. I learned a lot by interviewing Todd. I just wrote an article about it a couple weeks ago.
Well, and you could, how do you spell his last name?
Kuhn, Kuhn.
Yeah, it's a remarkable. You think about a man that was NASA and has come up with this, and not only do you have the smell portion of it, you got the UV enhanced visual attractant. Golly, this is and guys just sent around. And here I go again because I always ask this, and you guys know this. Did you name this Dominant Buck Bomb? Who got to do that? I want to come back.
Larry loves names.
I love names.
I get to work with the brand managers on naming some stuff, but no, I didn't have a hand in that.
Gosh, I was thinking it because Dominant Buck Bomb, that's the DBB. That's what I go for. Hey, Josh, thank you, buddy, and I can't wait to I've got me a new crossbow I'm going to be trying here real soon, and I know I'm going to take my dominant buck bomb out there with me. Thank you, Josh. Good talking to you.
Always a pleasure, Larry.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Rea, and we'll skip off of urine. That's me. Never thought. This show touches a lot of bases, but we're going to toss crossbows next on Outdoors with Larry Rea on ESPN 790.
You can find